Today's segment of Oh Brother is sponsored by Daviston Insulation. Visit them on the web at davistoninsulation.com to find out how you can reduce your energy bills by up to 30% and receive a tax credit in the process.
All my brothers are so southern, they'll get up for you for nothing. Take this.
Welcome into the Thanksgiving edition of Oh Brother. I'm Will Lochamy along with Reed Welcome. This is the podcast that you can find at iTunes or at ohbrotherradio.com. Now, Reed, there are many things to be thankful for on Thanksgiving.
There is only one I'm thankful for.
Oh, really? What's
because
that?
It's such a big deal. Is I am thankful for our guest on Oh Brother today, who is one of my favorite people, one of the nicest sounding people I think I've ever encountered in my life.
She does. I refer to her, and I don't know if she refers to herself as this, but as the first lady of college football. I'd like to welcome on Barbara Dooley. Miss Dooley, how you doing?
I am fabulous. Thank you both for calling me today.
Of
I'm
course.
thankful that I am here to be able to talk to y'all.
Well, good. We're glad to have you.
Well, Mrs. Dooley, here's the plan. What we're going to do is we're going to be asking you questions today because we've noticed that you seem to know a lot of college football coaches, and Will and I, of course, are big college football fans. So we have put together a list of questions, and what we want to do is have you basically match the name of a coach with whatever criteria we give you. Now, there's only going to be one rule, which is that you can only use the name of a coach once. So, for example, if we say to you, what coach would you like to spend the rest of your life with, and you've already said Nick Saban, you can't use that name again.
Well, I'm spending the rest of my life with my favorite coach.
Gotcha. No,
Nick
don't
Saban.
use that answer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So here we go. Will's got the first question. We'll just sort of go through these and get as many of them in as we can. Will, what is question number one?
Okay, what college football coach would most want to strangle Paul Feinbaum?
Oh, my gosh. There is a list so long that I could not name them all.
If first one comes to your mind.
He is not the most well-liked person among coaches.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
But I bet you it would have to be Tuberville.
See, and that's what I was going to say, but then I thought, wait a minute, Tuberville's rolling around in his money. I was going to go with Shula.
Probably thanks to Paul Feinbaum, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of them. I think we could sit here and name maybe at least 5.
Probably so. All right, question number two, and of course we'll count Tuberville as your answer for that, so you can't use him again. Okay. Question number two, of all the college football coaches you've ever known, who would you say is the grumpiest?
Oh, my gosh. Grumpiest?
That's right. Like the dwarf.
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
A lot of coaches are grumpy.
I've never met a grumpy coach.
Never met a coach she didn't like. Okay, so all right,
No.
all right, we'll leave it no answer there. No
All right, I
answer,
got a
that's fine.
feeling I know the answer to this one, Reed. Who is the biggest workaholic?
I would have to say Nick Saban.
Okay,
All right,
he's off.
and tell me this. I was wondering about this. How do you know the Sabans? I know you know just about everybody, but how are you so close with the Sabans?
Well, Nick and Terry were the coaches. Well, his wife is Terry.
Yeah.
Right.
Nick actually hired my son when he became the head coach at LSU. And so the 8 years that they were at LSU, Vince and I got to know the Sabans very well, and they bought a lake house right across the lake from us in Clayton, Georgia, on Lake Burton.
Now, is that the same lake where referees go when they would rather be going to the lake instead of refereeing? That might be a different lake, maybe.
Yeah, I think this is a lake we would like to drown a few referees in.
Sure. Okay. Next question. Of all the coaches you've known, which one would you say is the most misunderstood?
I think probably that would have to be Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier.
I like Steve Spurrier, by the way.
I'm a big Steve Spurrier fan also.
Okay.
Well, good.
Yeah, number 5. Who's the nicest coach?
I think the nicest coach that I've met is probably Grant Taft.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were going to go with Mark Richt there.
Yeah.
Well, both. I think there might be a tie there.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right. So to counter that, of all the coaches you've met, who would you say was the biggest jerk? Just sort of a jerk. Is it Ray Goff?
No, Evans, no.
I'm joking.
No. Well, I don't know the guy, to be honest with you, but his sideline antics is the coach at Tennessee.
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin.
Okay, we'll go with
him.
And I don't
know I don't know that he's really the biggest jerk, but he acts like he might be.
Well, you know what they say is the best thing to do is to judge a book by its cover, and I think that's kind of cover he has. So I'd go with that.
Yeah. He seems to. Okay, the next question. Who's the best husband?
Well, of all the husbands I've had, I would have to say Vince Dooley.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Easy answer there.
No, I will say this. I know that Mark Richt is probably – we're not coaching anymore, so I will exclude Vince Dooley, but I think Mark Richt might be the best husband I know.
Is he honestly that? I mean, everything I've ever heard about him and his wife is just they are the greatest, nicest people in the world.
In the world. Yeah.
That's impressive.
There's no flaw. I have yet to find a flaw, and I can find flaws in anybody.
That's good.
Okay, then it's going to be hard to be so mad at him for beating Auburn.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next question. So, opposite of best husband, which coach would you say would be maybe the hardest to live with? If you had to live in a house with a coach, of all the ones you've known, who would be the hardest to live with?
It would have to be, my big buddy out. My brain is dead. He used to coach at Oklahoma.
Used to coach at Oklahoma.
Hang on.
Come on.
Wait a second.
Come on.
What era are we talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You mean the first coach ever at Oklahoma?
No.
Whitey Dixon?
I think you guys ought to know who he was.
We should.
We don't like Oklahoma.
I've only been to Oklahoma once.
That's right. I've seen the movie Oklahoma. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, speaking of movies, of all the coaches you've known, who would make the best movie star?
My son, Derek Dooley.
Oh,
hey, fine-looking young man,
handsome
by the way.
fella.
My wife pointed that out when La Tech was playing Auburn at the beginning of the season.
Handsome fella.
Barry Switzer is the coach at Oklahoma. That was the coach at Oklahoma. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
There you
Maybe
go.
hard to live with. All right, next question. Of all the coaches you've met, who would you say was the tallest? Tall coaches. This is the opposite of Terry Bowden.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I can't answer that one. No answer.
Okay.
All right. Who would be the easiest to work for?
I've already said Mark Richt, didn't
I know. So you can't use him.
I can't use him again. So the easiest to work for would be, I know who. Bobby Bowden.
Seems like a pretty good guy.
Nice fella, yeah. All right, and last one, of all the coaches you've known, who would you say was the smartest? Who would you say is the thinking man's football coach?
Probably Joe Paterno.